joy, the mics are lit. Alex, Tim, and Joe bringing the grit. Daily drops for December, you know the drill. Game clubs, the vibe, giving you that thrill. Podmas 2025, we in the zone. Voices in your ear, you're never alone. Every day a new drop to unwrap and cheer. Game clubs, the gift, bringing holiday gear. Grab your headphones, tune in tight. Late night laughs or morning light. From RPGs to the classics they play. Spitting fire on the mic every single day. Joey's got the jokes, Tim's got the facts. Alex breaks it down, no game gets lax. Each episode's a gem, they're the squad. This holiday season, they're your pod gods. On the 2025, we in the zone. Voices in your ear, you're never alone. Every day a new drop to unwrap and cheer. Game club's the gift, bringing holiday gear.
Hello, this is Tim at Wembembo on everything from the Game Club pod, back with another episode of Podmas, joined by my usual co-host, Joey Fitz.
Oi, oi. How are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
Good, and I'm also joined by our other lovely co-host, Alex.
I will now be called Professor Pepper from now on.
Professor Peppy, thank you. We're doing the Last Chance Awards. We do this, I thought we did it every year, but I guess it seems that, we didn't do it last year, so we're bringing it back.
I thought we did do it last year.
Not according to the Spotify feed, we didn't, and I went and checked. But for those who do not know what this is, it's not necessarily an award show of games that came out in 2025. It's just stuff that we played in 2025. There's going to be a personal score of things that we played off the pod, and it's going to be an award, if you like, for ones that we did play on the pod. So, the categories we've got this year are Best Game of the Year, Worst Game of the Year, Best Visual Appeal, Best Story, Best Soundtrack, Best Indie Game, Best Multiplayer, and the Most Anticipated Game of 2026. Sound good, lads?
It would be too late to say no.
I am going to start off with the easy first game of the year. And by the way, for the people who are listening into this podcast and maybe interested in video, yes, this podcast is available in video, but we're also going to be showing the trailers of the games that we talk about this year. Sound good? Up the video. So, going purely on scores alone, our game of the year, if I can find the screen share button, there we go. Our game of the year was Baldur's Gate 3, with a solid 9 out of 10 from the Game Club podcast. Gang, thoughts?
What do we need to say?
One of the best games I've ever played.
Mind-blowing. Yeah, fantastic.
Exceptional game from start to finish.
Trailer does let it down by the fact it shows Shadowheart at the start, as if you have to play a Shadowheart.
But no, it's a phenomenal way for people who are interested in D&D, for people who play D&D, to, have D&D with your friends, but online and on Steam Deck and on console, because now it's got cross-play support. Great, phenomenal game. Endless replayability. What else do you need?
I mean, it's also fully licensed by Wizards of the Coast, who own the D&D franchise, so everything in the game is lore accurate and equivalent to the tabletop game.
What? I've never watched the trailer before. At what point do you punt a dwarf off a cliff?
Well, this is the thing. We might not have done it in our playthrough, but it can happen in your playthrough, perhaps.
Can I just say, you said it's great for people who love D&D. It's also great for people who don't.
Yeah.
Speaking as one of them, who doesn't really get D&D, I can see why people like it, but it's not for me. But the fact that I don't have to use my imagination that much is really good, and means that I could play Baldur's Gate again right now.
I like that the trailer ends with "It's party time."
It is party time.
It's just going to be a fun romp.
Yeah, good. Right, now that we've got that one out of the way, shall we go into our personal favourite games that we played off the pod in 2025?
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Who wants to start?
I'll go first before Alex gets in there.
Great.
I was going to say, I think me and Joey are going to have the same.
I don't think you're going to need to share your screen for this one. Alex? Forgot your name then. It is, of course... I don't want the sound on it. Stop sound. It is, of course, Clair Obscure Expedition 33. This game made me feel things that I can't remember the last game made me feel things. I'm not going to spoil anything, because, well, apart from the fact that I want to play this on the podcast because I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it. And I'm sorry that this is going to stifle this section a little bit, Tim, because I don't want to hear that much about it from either of you. But fucking hell, this game is good. It looks, sounds, is told beautifully from start to finish. And I can't sing its praises enough.
And it came out in 2025.
And it came out in 2025.
So yeah, as is obvious, this was also my pick for it. When we played Baldur's Gate, that was incredible storytelling. This is a masterclass of storytelling in video games, and it shows what can be done when you really put passion into what you're writing. It's just from start to finish, it's an absolute masterpiece.
Cool.
And we will be playing it in 2026 for the podcast. It's already on the schedule.
Good stuff. Good stuff. For me, I had 2 games that I could not pick between for my game of the year.
Because you haven't played this yet, have you?
I have not played this yet.
Okay, Tim, just take over the screen share when you're ready.
Will do. So, my first game that I picked, and I'm looking for my tab in the share screen. I talked about it previously. It was... Did it share? Yeah, there we go. Blueprints. Now, I wanted to do this on the pod, but I don't think we ever got around to it for one reason or another. But I am a sucker for a puzzle game that makes you whip out a pen and paper and actually write things down and work things out as almost like a detective or a conspiracy theorist. Like, the whole purpose of this game, to go into the brief story of it, is you are someone whose uncle has passed away, and he's giving you his 48-room mansion, and you need to find the 49th room. And it's all about working out context clues surrounding the family tree, the family business. It's a roguelike because the mansion changes layout every day with some recurring puzzles to like allow you to progress. There's like a stamina system that allows you to work between rooms. There's puzzles, there's lore. It's really bloody good. Like, really good. If you're into things like Return of the Obra Dinn, you'll probably get a massive kick out of this.
Can I just say that I think any game that makes you write something down outside of the game is my idea of hell.
Oh, I love it.
So you could put this as a T here if you wanted to.
Maybe. The other game that I wanted to talk about, and I will admit there is definitely a form of recency bias in here, because we've been playing this quite a bit recently, but it scratches an itch for me.
Gollum.
Mars First Logistics. Now,
that's your best for 2025.
Now, here's why. I've said I like puzzle games, and I love open-ended puzzle games that allow you to approach a puzzle in any way that you like as long as you meet the objective, because it allows you to get really creative with your... I've just seen there's an Among Us coin. God fucking damn it. That allows you to get creative with your solutions and almost tell stories about like, how you were transporting some cargo using a robot that you built with this particular mechanism, and only you could have come up with that. The game does not tell you about how to transport cargo as long as it is there in one piece. Basically, you are fine to complete the objectives in any way that you wish. I've really liked the aesthetic. It's simple, cel-shaded stuff. It's got almost like a Lego mechanic to it where you're just like snapping blocks together, but it has to work in a way that makes sense for the robot to operate. It's got great multiplayer. It's fun. It's just really bloody fun.
Can I just say one thing that Tim forgot to say at the start of this episode is we learnt from an episode we've recorded previously, but I'm not sure will be out yet. It will be out. Of course it will. In our predictions for the Game Club pod, the Game Awards, Alex and I used Claire Obscure for most of our nominations. Yeah. We decided to keep it to one nomination per game. So when you've seen these, you won't see them again.
That's it. The one and dones.
Not from Tim anyway.
No, not from Tim.
No.
Which means Alex has chosen Mars Logistics for something else.
I will tell.
All right. On to our worst game of the year, starting with our worst game score-wise on the podcast.
Starting with our worst host.
It is Heavy Rain. We gave this game a 3.8, I think, out of 10.
I think that was kind.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking over the schedule when putting together my list for this, and we have had a good year of games on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some things I really wanted to put down for like best game. There are some things I wanted to put down for worst game. And this, when it came up, I was just like, yeah, no, it makes sense that this was pretty terrible. It was a David Cage game, so it's going to be naturally a bit pretentious. The controls are almost invasive to the gameplay experience. The story is contrived and all over the place. It was an annoying performance from start to finish.
I think if we played this around the time it was released, we would feel quite differently about it.
Probably.
It's a product of its time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much product of its time. And I'm still quite interested in playing other more recent David Cage games like Detroit Become Human, to see how this kind of interactive movie QTE simulator has evolved for 2020s media. Because I remember someone talking about this when I was in college, and that was like a million years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Right. Who wants to go next with their worst game that they played off the pod?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't play any bad games off of the pod because why would I? But this was a game that I was forced to play because of the pod. It is The Mortuary's Assistant.
But also not off the pod.
Yeah, this isn't off the pod.
Well, I didn't play any bad games off the pod because I'm not weird like that.
You didn't play any games you didn't like at all this year?
No, not unless it was for the pod.
Wow.
All right. Solid year for gameplay for Alex.
Yeah, because most of the time I can't be arsed until I got my Steam Deck.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Tell
it
us
was
about the
just an
Mortuary's System. Why didn't you like it?
Awful game, just boring gameplay loop. The story was contrived at best, and it just credit where it's due. They really tried to make an embalming simulator, but it didn't know what it wanted to be, and it was just crap.
Well, there's a review for you.
A glowing review.
Joey?
Oh wow, okay, that really is it. Okay, so
I don't want to think about it anymore.
Well, that's fair. Okay, so my most hated game of the year, the worst game of the year, I played. You might not like it, guys. It's one you both have played a fair amount of. It's Monster Hunter Wilds. The hype behind this, because of how much we enjoyed Monster Hunter Worlds, was massive. The beta testing was great, and I really enjoyed it. But we said it in our Monster Hunter Worlds episode, Monster Hunter is not fun unless you're playing it with people. And what did this game never work for me? The online. It physically would not let me go online. Now, there are monsters that I thought were fun and inventive and different and quite good to fight against. But the fact that you guys were in the same call, having a great time together, killing these monsters, and I was there getting an error code blocking my game every 10 minutes saying we can't get you online. It's the only time I've ever emailed a developer like, what is going on? Why won't this work? And then they sent me a really shit canned response that didn't do anything. I was so excited for this game to be good and to have a good time and play with my friends, and I've never been let down quite like it in any game.
I think the worst part of it as well is we must have spent a good 3 or 4 weeks in bits and pieces going, oh, I've seen this thing on Reddit where this person says this fixes it. You must have tried 12, 14, 16 different fixes.
I did.
Everything from reinstalling the game, verifying, changing things, moving things.
I changed things in my BIOS to try and get this to work online. And it just
nothing worked.
Didn't. And I'm sure if I tried it again now, it might work, but I'm was so let down by when the game launched and just did not work at all. I wish I'd put in a refund request.
I think the worst part of it as well was there was a couple of times where you did a fix and we'd be halfway through a hunt and it'd be like, yes, it's finally working. It's this convoluted method has fixed it, and then the error code pops up almost on cue.
Yeah. So I don't have very long in Monster Hunter Worlds. I don't know if I ever have the patience to go back and try again. I think the moment has kind of passed. Monster Hunter Wilds, my worst game of the year, purely because it didn't work.
And it's a shame because like, on this pod, I think it's fair to say we all love Monster Hunter as like a series, but Wilds was such a massive letdown. And I'm sure it's perfectly fine on PlayStation 5. I've not tried it, but on PC, it was just nigh on unplayable to the point that it was also my worst game of the year.
Oh, wow.
So
I like how you took over the screen share to show exactly the same thing.
I thought it'd be more fun that way. So I really wanted to like Monster Hunter Wilds, and I love some of the monster design, and I love the open world, and I always love Monster Hunter combat. But this thing it sucks on PC. It's not worth it to play it on PC at all for how poorly it runs from start to finish. And like, it's a shame because this game has a lot going for it, but man, if half your player base can't do your game, there's a problem. And I'm willing to hold out hope that they put out a fix to this because, and Alex, you might have to correct me if I'm wrong here, Monster Hunter World experienced similar issues when it launched, where for the first year it was rough on PC.
It wasn't to this degree though.
No.
I know it had a lot of the issues that Worlds had was optimization because it was their first sort of major foray into online multiplayer, massive open world with these level of graphics. So it wasn't optimized very well, and a lot of machines had trouble playing it. Wilds was plagued with compatibility issues for online play. There was never any, apart from the polygon monsters from the beta, there was never any real graphic issues or optimization issues. Instead, they decided to make the multiplayer not work on a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was surprised at that, Tim. I thought you guys really enjoyed Monster Hunter Wilds.
I did, though, is the thing. But I can't support... Like, I think the level of performance that we got, certainly for PC, and again, I don't know about PS5, but certainly for PC, which is the market that we all play on, the level of support and the level of performance that we got is inexcusable. So I have to put it down as my worst game of the year.
Fair enough.
Cool. Right, our next category, and this is where we start getting subjective because we're moving on from scores, is best visual appeal. So, do we want to do personal or podcast first?
It's up to you. You're the host.
You're the host.
I will go first with my personal game of the year. Let me find my tab. In terms of visual appeal, this is so art direction, graphical fidelity. For me, it was Fly Night. We played this off the pod for a singular stream because we needed something to do. And I loved how much this captured the PS1 RuneScape aesthetic through and through. And it committed so hard to that aesthetic. I thought it was great. I thought it was a fantastic little blast in the past.
I really enjoyed Fly Night. I think you've hit the nail on the head. It felt retro, but it felt really familiar. It didn't feel like dated retro. It felt like what you want retro to be in your nostalgic vision.
Yeah. I mean, even as we look at the trailer here, like, you're looking at the damage indicators and some of the icons, and it's like, yeah, these guys play old school RuneScape. You can tell. But like, you're wandering around the world, and it's almost like, I mean, you've seen the remakes of like Bloodborne and Dark Souls that you see, the demakes, on PS1, and it looks like that because this is what the hardware would have looked like at the time.
Yeah,
they've nailed it.
Very good. was really good. Tim, I'll go with my personal next, and then we'll loop around with the podcast if that's okay.
Yeah, totally.
So my personal for this year is one that I played a very long time ago, but sticks with me because of how much I enjoyed how weird it was. And that was Indica.
Okay.
So
I know you're excited for this.
Yeah. Indica was one I played a very long time ago. I was meant to put out a review, but then they said I didn't have to, so I didn't because we had lots on at the time. Maybe I'll put this as my review. Indica is an insane game where you play as a nun who is possessed by the devil. And it's like a puzzle story game, but it cycles through genres. So there is a part where you are in, as you can see on the screen now, a pixel racer, or you can be in a horror element first person, or a city builder, or walking sim, as it says there. But the visuals in it, and particularly the end, and I'm not going to ruin the ending here, the visuals, particularly the end, the last frame that you see, man, it's stuck with me. It is one of the most interesting games I think I've ever played. It's about 4 hours long, and it's worth every single minute of that 4 hours. I'd implore you to go and play Indica.
It seems like it's one of these you tend to find with games that try to jump between different genres or different gameplay loops. They tend to not do very well at any of them. Look at the Mortuary's Assistant, to go back to that. But from everything you've ever said of this game, it sounds like the way that it blends all the different genres and the gameplay loops works, which is impressive considering it said there's about 8 different gameplay styles.
Yeah, they just give you a taster of it. So, like, the racing sim isn't a big part of it. Once you do it, you never go back to it. The whole thing is a bit like a walking sim with other genres spattered kind of throughout the game. And there's a really cool mechanic where your brain is kind of being torn apart by your possessed devil. But when you are being possessed by the devil, the world expands because you get all these voids into hell. And the way that you can platform across it is you start praying, and it smashes the world back together again. So you can do long and short gaps in the room based on whether you're praying or not. It's very, very cool.
That's interesting.
Really cool.
That's interesting.
Very nice.
Alex, your personal game or personal visual appeal game of the year?
My personal visual game of the year, what I'm about to show you was going to be my multiplayer, but I changed my mind and decided that this would be good for visual because I am specifically looking at Elden Ring Night Rain.
Okay.
Nice. Specifically for the boss designs and the boss arenas, because oh my god, some of those have been incredible to fight through. I forget his name. What's the big ice dragon who just absolutely ruins your day? Yeah.
Oh, do you mean the Night Lord bosses? I thought you were just
the Night Lord bosses. Sorry, yeah.
I thought you were just complimenting Dark Souls bosses.
I mean, obviously the world bosses are based on Dark Souls bosses. Well, they are Dark Souls bosses, and they do look incredible when you're fighting them in the world. But it's when you get to the Night Lords and just those arenas and the monsters that are in them are insanely good.
It's a spectacle, is what it is.
It is a spectacle.
It very much is. And sometimes it's a spectacle to the point that you're looking at it going, wow, that looks incredible. And then you die.
Yeah.
They've just, when this is released, they will have had the first proper DLC come out about 2 weeks ago. And I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be really,
which means
really
we will be going back to it on stream.
The other thing as well is it, from what I understand, FromSoft's next title, Duskbloods, the Nintendo Switch 2 From Souls game, is basically more Night Rain, but in like the Bloodborne setting. So of course I was a little hesitant at first when Night Rain hadn't come out and they announced that, but having played Night Rain, yeah, I'm totally here for it. 100%.
But will you? Because do you know other people that play on the Switch too?
Yeah, I know a few people.
Oh, okay. Well, then ignore me.
Yeah.
I thought, is it going to be fun because you're not playing with us?
I mean, it won't be as fun, of course.
Of course.
Mwah.
Oh,
No.
Right, and personal favorite visual appeal game that we played on the pod. Very recent episode from me. Let me just grab my screen. Bam!
So serious.
It is Death Stranding.
I knew it.
I mean, what more do you need to say? It is fucking gorgeous. No matter where you are in the game, this game allows you to take in the scenery. It's got amazing character models. It's got fantastic performances. The UI, while I'll admit, is a little convoluted sometimes in menus. It makes sense for kind of an in-universe thing. It's basically a Hideo Kojima movie that lasts like 30 hours. Just look at it when it stops showing title screens.
Kojima games, Hideo Kojima movies.
Well, yeah, but this one's the prettiest one that we've played so far, I think, this year. I can't wait for Death Stranding 2, though. I really want to play that at some point.
Yeah, Tim, just keep this running because I put it as my personal best-looking game as well. And I think you could say that based on like the individual areas. The first area itself, man, what an introduction to the game. It's just sprawling, it's vast, and it makes you feel like so small in an open world, but you can just look at it all day. It's so nice.
Do you know, I can remember playing this. I remember and it's great that this scene's just come up in the trailer. When you're first on the beach watching this, I was like, oh my God, the sand looks amazing. It's that level of detail where you're taking in like the moss on the rocks and you're just like, oh my God, this looks good.
You know that it's the best visual game purely because we get to see Norman Reedus' ass, right?
Totally.
Yeah, good.
Glad
we
Alex,
agreed on that.
your best visual appeal game that we played on the pod this year?
I am going to have to take over the screen because I knew you two were going to say that. So I'm glad that you both brought up Norman Reedus' ass. Cracking job. For me, best visual appeal goes to Gris.
I nearly put
solid.
this.
Because the art style in this is just so nice. That nice watercolor, hand-drawn, and as you progress through, you start obviously quite grey and monochrome, and as you progress, you're discovering more colours, the world becomes more vibrant, and it was just... I don't like platformer games, but I played this all the way through because the visual appeal of it kept me going.
Yeah, we've
look at it.
Got to give a massive shout out to Talking Smack, and particularly Josh from Talking Smack, for putting us all onto Gris.
I'd have given this a miss if he hadn't bought this for us, so thank you for that, Josh. This was nearly my game of the visual appeal game of the year.
The Gris miss.
Yeah. He's got that
Merry
Ohio
Christmas.
Gris.
Stop it.
Stop.
Cool. Right. Best story. Who wants to go first with personal? Joey?
Yeah, okay, I'll go first with personal. So let me take over that old cheeky screen share from you, Alex.
It's all right. Take it.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Okay.
I will just pop this on. My favourite story was Silk Song.
Okay.
I thought Silk Song was told in a very fun way. The game itself is hard as shit, and I've not finished it. So I'm looking forward to even more fun story. But the story of Ascension and picking up on a really strong story and brand and aesthetic from Hollow Knight itself can't have been easy. This is one of those games that lived up to the hype in every sense. And I was going to put it for best aesthetic, but Indica took it for me, so I had to put it somewhere. And I really enjoyed the story of Hollow Knight and the story of progression and struggle and, you know, getting out and winning.
Good.
Silk Song is mine.
Good. Alex, do you want to go next or do you want me to?
I'll go next. Let me just get it loaded up. My best story is, again, one that we covered on the podcast.
This is
Don't shoot
personal.
me.
What's going on?
I know. Well, I've not played much outside of...
I have a life. What are you talking about?
I have a job and a life, yeah. But best story was going to go to Claire Obscura, but the self-imposed rule gives it to Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Enough, but the storytelling in this game, the fact that you've got your main overarching story all the way through, but then you've got all these little side stories of goblins getting strapped to windmills and people getting lost in wells and things like that. It's just so good. I mean, as we've said, Claire Obscura is probably taken over in terms of story because of just how tight their story is, but this really shows you how to do multiple stories at once. Really, really well.
1,700 endings I read for Baldur's Gate.
It's something wild like that, yeah.
1,700.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of
It is a
storytelling.
lot.
It is a lot.
What about you, Tim?
For me, it's a game that launched in 2019, I think it was, and I went back and finally finished it this year. It was Cyberpunk 2077.
Nice.
So I was one of these people that got Cyberpunk at launch, and I played it for a bit. I was like, oh my god, performance bad, performance really bad, performance uninstall worthy. And then they just seem to keep patching the game and patch it and patch it and patch it. And do you know what? Now, it's pretty fucking incredible. Like, it's really good to play nowadays. Like, especially with the expansion of the Phantom Liberty DLC. The world building in Cyberpunk is phenomenal. And I found myself in a bit of a cyberpunk rabbit hole for a while where I was getting into like audiobooks like The Neuromancer by William Gibson. I was watching the cyberpunk anime while playing this. But what's really cool about this, and this is something I'm a massive sucker for, is getting into a game with an established lore. Death Stranding does this as well, where instead of being like, here is the lore happening in front of you, it's just more like, this is the world you're in, get used to it real quick or die.
Yeah.
And I love that about this. And what was really cool about this story as well was obviously you play as V, just doing a bunch of odd jobs, be that against the Arasaka Corporation or working with gangs or trying to commit espionage between gangs or corporations. But all the while this was happening, it's implied that the main story of Cyberpunk Edge Runners is happening at the same time, because when new episodes would air, the game would get updates to reference things that happened in the episodes. So I'm not going to say any spoilers for the anime, because go and watch it. It's incredible. But someone drops a shotgun in a fight. That's all I'll say for that part of the story. But then the game came out with an update, and you can go and find that shotgun at that spot, because all of the stuff that happens in the anime you can find in the game. It's that level of deep storytelling that's interwoven. So whether you're a casual fan of the books or the mangas or the graphic novels or the anime or the whatever, you could dive into this and have a decent idea of what's going on, and vice versa. If you like Cyberpunk 2077 and you want to explore more of the universe, which best story would naturally lead you there. There are so many avenues for you to explore, and you'll have a sense of familiarity with it. Fantastic world building.
Yeah, it's because the Edge Runners anime took place in Night City, which is where Cyberpunk 2077 takes place. But Edge Runners was the year before, which is why there's so much tying in. And it really is just, it's a cracking way to tell a story and you going to other stories.
Yeah. And it's one of these games as well, and I've said it before, I love them on the podcast. It's a game that makes you, the player, tell stories. Like, yes, there is a story to the game, but there are so many ways that you can approach any mission or challenge or quest or just something you're just doing fucking around in Night City. You, as the player, have a unique experience with it, and it makes you have that story and that experience.
I did what you did, Tim, and I downloaded it on day one. I had this game. Day one.
Too.
I've not played it since.
Go back and play it now. It's completely different. It's so much better.
Okay, I will do. Do you want me to go ahead and story for the pod?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's do it, baby. My story for the pod is, of course, Silent Hill F. Whilst we didn't enjoy Silent Hills in your area, while we didn't necessarily enjoy the gameplay of it as much as other games, I still enjoyed it, just not as much as could have done. Combat system, sorry. We didn't enjoy the combat system that much, but no one can deny that the story was great. The story was really good, as you know, all Silent Hills are. I really had a toss up between this and Death Stranding for best visuals, because I think visually this game is immaculate. However, the story for it, boy howdy. And I really appreciated when we did the episode, Tim, you taking us through what like the relevance of a lot of it in Japanese culture is, because that elevated everything so much. It was just it's a really good one to watch someone play.
Now, for what it's worth, I also put this down as my best story of the year on the pod.
Not surprised.
Not surprised.
Yeah, not surprised at all. Anything
Alex?
you want to add at all?
Tim, was there anything or no?
No, I mean, we've said it before on the pod. Symbolism and symbolism in storytelling is a fantastic tool, and this game is symbolism through and through. I won't go into the full details here, but there is a lot of well, Joe just mentioned Japanese cultural-based symbolism in this game, and it's obviously Japanese developer. They're going to know their stuff for this, but it's presented and told in such a way that it makes sense even if you don't have that understanding of the Japanese symbolism. But if you do, it enhances it. It's exceptional storytelling.
I didn't realize quite how bloody and blood splattery it is.
Oh, yeah.
Until we saw this trailer. Like, I know there is a fair amount of gore in it, but they seem to have just condensed all of the cutscenes where someone's head explodes into that trailer.
Yeah. Alex, your game of the year for story?
So for me, I was going to put Baldur's Gate because, again, it's cracking storytelling. It's really solid storytelling, but it is stories that I know and I'm familiar with from the fantasy genre and from D&D in general. So we've got a threefer. I've given it to Silent Hill for Swell.
Oh, wow.
Silent Hill.
Just
Unanimous.
because while I didn't necessarily enjoy the game that much from a gameplay point of view, from as a cinematic piece, it was top notch.
Yeah, it's really good. Wow. Tim's so excited he's cracking the beers.
I've got a Professor Peppy.
Wow, let's not say any brands here. I was watching a small tangent. Have you ever seen that video of the guy who's like called into BBC Radio Watford and he's talking about blue badge holders? And he's like, I use my wife's blue badge so I can get a Viscount biscuit. And they're like,
don't say the brand.
No brands. And he can't stop going, a delicious minty biscuit.
It's exceptional.
It's very good.
Cool. Best soundtrack. This is obviously best piece of in-game music that you enjoyed from games that you have played this year. I'm going to start off with Alex for personal.
So this is a game that I listened to the soundtrack outside of the game. We are going back to something Tim's already mentioned. We're back in Cyberpunk.
Whoa.
The soundtrack for it has this. It does the same kind of thing that GTA 5, the GTA series in general does, where when you're in the car or on foot, you have a personal radio. And you can tune that to whatever radios that are on there that you want. So there's one that is very much like hard EDM type of songs. There's another that's a bit more metal, a bit more pop, things like that. But every single song is just great. There's so many like really hype songs on there. And occasionally it just likes to pop on I Really Want to Stay at Your House from the Edge Runners anime.
Don't
and
give
it
me
makes
feelings
you feel
like that.
sad.
Yeah, don't give me feelings.
Honestly, like, even if you don't like the cyberpunk genre, you don't like the cyberpunk games, you don't like this style of gameplay, just go and listen to the soundtrack on Spotify, YouTube, or if you really have to, Apple Music.
Good.
It's just great.
I'm probably going to catch some flack for my soundtrack of the year. So this is my hear me out. It's Pokemon Legends ZA.
All right, lovely being on the episode today.
It was a really nice Podmas episode.
All right. No, genuinely, say what you want about Pokemon and the franchise and its direction over the last few years. One thing they have nailed in the last few games is the soundtrack. Like, be that starting off with Toby Fox, his work on Pokemon Sword and Shield. I don't know who the music director was for for Scarlet and Violet or Legends Arceus, but I think they brought Toby Fox back for ZA, and it's exceptional. It's
Wait, is he the one who did Undertale?
yes, same dude.
Oh.
So what this is,
Sorry. Sorry.
what this is, there's a couple of tracks that really stand out as like, oh my god, this is really good. But most of the music, how do I want to put this? You know that quote in Futurama where it's like, if you've done something right, people won't be sure you've done anything at all.
Mhm.
Everything in this soundtrack for this game just feels right. It's just like it's very appropriate tonally. It's very appropriate for the areas that you're in. It's very appropriate for the actions that you're doing. And then occasionally, it'll just like throw this bombastic like electro swing at you, or like a big orchestra piece for like a massive fight. Because there are massive like kaiju style fights in this game. It's really well done.
I mean, you said electro swing, so I'm back in.
I mean, I'll send you the link for the track later. It's really good.
Thank you.
Well, Tim, you thought you were going to get in trouble for your last pick.
Oh, no.
I loved this soundtrack so much that I came in here and brazenly broke the fucking rules.
Oh, no.
I can't get over Clair Obscur for its soundtrack. It's the only one I've duplicated. I'm really sorry, but it's beautiful, it's haunting, it's chilling, it's encouraging, and it's, Alex said the word masterful and masterpiece over and over again, and the soundtrack to Clair Obscur is a masterpiece. And also they're releasing a vinyl 7 LP edition.
It's a 6 LP. I've
6
already
LP.
seen it, and I am that far from buying it. I'll be honest with you.
It's beautiful.
It is.
And-
It is £115, but oh boy, is it tempting!
And the music itself is not a genre I would ever listen to, but it's done so well. It's done so well.
That's everyone's personal, right?
Yep.
Great. Alex, what's your personal favorite soundtrack from a game that we played on the pod this year?
From a game that we've played on the pod this year, let me make sure I've actually got it open. There it is. Vamping. And I think we're all going to be on a similar wavelength here. Where the hell is it? It's Death Stranding.
Well, Tim and I can't be on the same wavelength because we've nominated it for best story. Oh no, best visual. Sorry,
best visuals we picked for this.
We've used our trump
right.
card.
You have done that for the personal for the. Okay, well, you're not going to be on the same standing, but the if it wasn't for Clair Obscura, I would have. If we'd done Clair Obscura, it would have won.
Yeah.
But for stuff we've done on the podcast, I think this is far away probably one of the best soundtracks. That and Baldur's Gate, but the music in this just made it.
We get it. You like Baldur's Gate, Alex.
I really like Baldur's Gate and I want to play again, but the music in this was just so well designed. And the way it introduces the songs and it sort of swells and slowly dies down, it's not just the music itself is really good. The way it's been implemented has been done so well.
That WWE 2K20 thumbnail you just had on your screen there for a second was horrific.
That was a character from a guy called Bray Wyatt, and he was called...
It was called Bray Wyatt, wasn't it?
No, he wasn't. It was... I did a whole episode with Dan on Casting Views about a match he had with John Cena. Can't remember his name.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. But it's a good match, and he's a really interesting character. So,
yeah.
Mr. Casting Views.
So, Alex, I was on a similar wavelength for you, but I also follow the rule of no giving one game 2 awards. And for me, I obviously gave Death Stranding the Visual Appeal Award, but the game that I've picked for my soundtrack was also this close to getting the Visual Appeal Award instead. So it's a real toss-up between the two. Let me share my screen.
The
South
Fiend,
of Midnight.
That was what he was called, The Fiend. Sorry, Tim.
South of Midnight. For those who remember this game, like when we covered it earlier in the year, it's like heavily inspired by like New Orleans and southern states blues music. it's got just again, it's just tonally correct. I nearly put this in my visual appeal category in place of Death Stranding and Death Stranding in this place. And to be honest, for me, the two would be almost interchangeable in terms of quality because, god damn, there are just moments in this that are just really like accentuated by the choice of music and the performances of some of those blues singers. It's just great.
Yeah. And keep it on, Tim. It should worry you how much in sync we are because this was my choice on the pod for best soundtrack.
We are so in sync.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Anything you want to add about that one, Joey, with the soundtrack?
No, I mean I think the parts where the soundtrack is at its best are the boss fights.
Totally.
And they basically tell you the story of the boss whilst you're fighting them. It was really good. I know at the time of recording you guys hadn't actually finished. The Hugging Molly boss fight was probably the best. And I didn't know if you guys have finished that. But it's another one that was a really great game. I think maybe let down a little bit by its combat system. But yeah, sounded incredible start to finish.
Absolutely. Cool. Right, that leads us on to our best indie game of the year, and I think I will go first with this one. To no one's shock, to no one's surprise, I have gone with, for my personal favorite indie game of the year that we haven't played on the pod, Silksong. It's been, the meme of the last 10 years of when will Silksong come out, and you know what? It was worth the hype. It's great. Yeah. Tight controls, awesome story, great soundtrack, awesome combat, fun Metroidvania level design, great world building. It's one of my favorite games of the year. Nice and simple.
Yeah, it's great.
Cool.
It tells a great story as well.
Yeah. Joey, your personal favorite indie game of the year?
Yeah, my personal favorite indie game of the year is one I think you're yet to play, Tim. It didn't come out that long ago. Yes, Balatro, which is game of the year every year. It is this one here, Species Unknown.
Yeah, I haven't played this yet.
Oh, but the bloody thing is frozen. This is not a reflection of the game.
The frame rate.
The game is an extraction phasmophobia adjacent game. But it's like Alien Isolation meets Dead Space meets Phas meets an extraction shooter.
Mm-hmm.
So at the moment it's in early access. It's dead cheap for how good a game it is. 4 players, and you basically have to go in and do like one of 5 or 6 different mission types. But the thing is, you don't know what enemy you're coming up against when you get into the game. So you have to study how it's killed the crewmates to work out which monster you're going to come up against. And each monster has a unique behavior type, a unique weakness, strengths, etc. But they've been doing things recently in the updates, like making it so the power on the ship intermittently goes out. So you're suddenly plunged into pitch black when this monster is chasing you. It's really fun. I think we should play it on the stream. Yeah, it's good.
Nice.
Have we not played that on a stream yet?
No, me and you streamed it for some of our friends in our Discord. Join our Discord.
That's right.
But we haven't played it on our Twitch yet.
But we will.
Nice. Cool. Right, going on to best indie game that we played for the pod.
Did we get Alex's indie?
No.
Oh, sorry, I thought we did. My bad. Carry on.
It's okay because I'm missing the trailer. Give me 2 seconds. Here we go. Right, my best personal indie game is going to be... Hold on to your shoes.
Drum roll.
Oh, you did just as the trailer.
It's Peak.
Nice.
Okay, yeah.
Peak was great fun. It's a great little indie game about just climbing a big hill, but it's just there's something about it that just going on a walk with your friends and climbing a hill and watching them absolutely eat shit falling down. Just a bit like he's just done there. It's just great fun, and I think the thing I like with this is the developers are very active working on it, and they're very in tune with the community. They're always putting out their update. They're always putting like update videos on their TikToks about the things they're working on, and they seem to have really nailed the marketing on this game. It's just a good little game. Yeah, that's all I've got to say about it, really.
Solid.
I'd like to play more.
Solid. Cool. On to our best indie games for the pod that we played. For me, it's in what I would argue is the quintessential indie game, one of the quintessential platformers. It's Super Meat Boy. I loved Super Meat Boy. I loved it when it first came out, and I've loved it every single time I played it since, and I loved it for the pod. It's fun, straightforward platforming, no bullshit, just, hey, get good or stop playing. And this game really encourages you to get good in a number of ways, like speedrunning challenges, or as the trailer will show you, there's like a replay system where it shows you the amount of times, here you go, the amount of times that you died and how you died, ultimately culminating in the one time that you succeeded overcoming the challenges. Very well designed, fun story, lots of great references. Good game. Good game.
Good game. Right, my one for the pod was... Ooh, it was Mini Motorways.
I did think about this as well.
I loved Mini Motorways. It was really easy to pick up and go and just have a run and try and optimize something. And it scratched a little itch in my brain. I don't love that they show it off on Switch for the trailer because I think it was great on Steam. But yeah, I think Mini Motorways is a great, it's what I would call a travel game. Like if you're on the train for half an hour, you could have a really good session on Mini Motorways or Mini Metro or something like that. But yeah, Mini Motorways wins my indie game of the year for the pod.
Nice. And Alex?
Yeah, keep it rolling, because I also went with Mini Motorways for all of the reasons that Joey just said. I did also find that it scratched a particular itch that I tried to scratch by playing things like City Skylines. That sort of making networks from one place to another that work well and plotting your zones and everything. And it was just a good little. It's a good little. I've got half an hour to do something. This'll do. Put it on.
It's
that half an hour goes in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's dead simple, but everything that's really simple is done really well.
It's also one of those that's really easy to get the hang of, but it's so difficult to master.
Yeah, agreed.
And then you start panicking.
I'm panicking.
I'm going to lose my job.
I've got no motorways. I'm panicking.
Well done bringing it back to not what it actually is, Alex.
Nice. Cool. Then that brings us to best multiplayer game of the year. Let's start with personals with... let's go with Alex.
Okay. Let me share. My best multiplayer game that we've played personally is... I've got too many tabs open and I keep struggling to find them. It's Species Unknown.
Hey. Wow.
This has been we've played a lot of good multiplayer games over this year. Obviously, we've played Divinity for the stream. We've been playing Repo. We've played RV there yet. We played some Faz at some point. Something about Species Unknown, when me and Joey were playing it in its early access, it just clicked, and it was just, it's a nice combination of avoiding the monsters or trying to kill the monsters that are chasing you and completing puzzles to get out. And Tim, you won't know this because you've not played it yet. Once you get to the thing you're meant to be collecting, the ship starts to explode and you have got a timer to get out. And that is the most stressful shit I've ever had in this game.
That's mission dependent.
Is it mission dependent?
Yeah, it is.
Well, the two missions we did both
Yeah.
were dependent on it. But it was great. 'Cause the first mission that we did, Joey, if you remember, we started really panicking and we didn't know where we were going. And it turned into, oh my God, press the button, get the door closed, and then didn't get the door closed in time, and we blew up.
We did blow up. Yeah, I do
Great
remember
time.
that vividly.
I still have nightmares.
Oh, I sure do. Tim, would you like me to go next?
Yeah, you can go next.
Okay, Alex said the name of the one that I choose in his spiel. I gave it my best multiplayer for our Game Awards prediction. To no one's surprise, I loved playing Repo. It's dumb fun. It continues to be dumb fun. It's nonsensical bullshit, and it makes me cry laughing every time we play it, and I want to play more of it. I think 2025 was a really good year for multiplayer games, and multiplayer games just get better and better because there's endless replayability with stuff like this. I thought, there won't be a game like this after Lethal Company that I want to play. And then Repo came along, and it took Lethal Company's stupidity and ramped up 500 million%. Play play Repo. It's just great.
I will
It
say
is very
I
good.
definitely prefer this over Lethal Company, I think, because Lethal Company tries to be more serious and a bit more horror focused, whereas this is just, it knows exactly what it is. It's dumb fun. It's memey fun.
Yeah, Mimi is what it is. Tim?
Yes. So for my multiplayer game of the year, I had the very fortunate experience of being able to play this at Evo this year. So for me,
Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
it's not Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
I bet it is when you share your screen.
Boom. 2XKO.
Look at that, Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
It has taken the formula and the foundations of traditional fighting games like tag team fighters and added just a very simple 2v2 element to make it so you and your friends can play online or in person with full tag and assists and a just great combat system. Alex mentioned in a previous episode that he'd be interested in playing this, considering it's a free to play. I'm going to hold him to that. But it's just fun. It's a fighting game that creates a sense of teamwork in only the way that League of Legends can, which may or may not be a good thing. But from what I played, it's a good thing.
Nice.
Yeah, if there's two phrases that go hand in hand, it's League of Legends and teamwork.
Yeah. But that was my personal pick for best multiplayer.
Nice. Alex, yours for the pod?
Mine for the pod is, I've closed my tabs now, so I've got a lot less to look through. Is going to
Tim,
be...
what the fuck were your suggestions on YouTube?
Don't worry about it.
We haven't played it for the pod.
We did it on streams.
It doesn't
Multiple
count.
times.
It's not an
It does.
episode.
It's counting for me,
No.
because otherwise I have to go and find something else.
No, Tim, that doesn't count, right?
I don't think it counts as not on
Go
Spotify.
on then, Tim. Right, Tim, Joey, you do yours, and I'll find another.
Okay, I'll do mine. I'll do mine. Okay, mine has already been said on a different category, not by me, so it's within the rules this time. My favorite multiplayer experience was Night Rain. It was just good. We bunged together an episode of Night Rain because I can't remember why we struggled with the other game that we had in that slot, but I'm glad we did because we got to gush over how fun and pretty and challenging this game is.
We did because it was coupled in with the Remnant from the Ashes episode, but I think there wasn't enough. I think we felt there wasn't enough content in Remnant from the Ashes, and we'd been on a bit of a Night Rain kick at that point and went, let's put this in there as well.
And I'm glad we did. I think that it's, for what is quite a complex game, it's quite a simple formula. And I'm really looking forward to the expansion based on what I said before. I love Dark Souls and the world and the enemies and the lore. And I feel like Night Rain has its own crazy lore that I am yet to dive into. I'll be watching Vassy video straight after this. But it's, just look at it. It's beautiful. It runs tight. It's got really interesting combat mechanics, and it's a twist on the Souls formula that I think was kind of needed after Elden Ring. But yeah, so Night Rain wins my multiplayer game of the year for the pod.
Nice. Keep it on screen because same thing. Also, Night Rain. It's exactly what I want from a fast Dark Souls game. Essentially, fun multiplayer with short iterative cycles. It satiates that member berries feeling for me. When I see look at the big funny worm man in the woods. You fought him in Elden Ring, or as we've seen in the DLC trailer. Oh my God, Artorias is back. Member Artorias? Yes, I do member Artorias. Seeing him makes me very happy. It's great fan service for anyone who's into the series. It's fantastic world building for those who aren't into the series. It's just fun. It's really bloody good.
Yeah. And it's high skill, but I feel like it's far more accessible than other Dark Souls because you're playing alongside people who are more likely going to know the games and have played Dark Souls. Honestly, if you haven't played and enjoyed Dark Souls and or Elden Ring or some From Software game, realistically, you're going to play Night Rain. So I think that having the standardized builds to start with of the Nightfarers makes this game far more accessible. And we should go back to it.
We should. Plus, I can see Sebastian the Skeleton, my beloved, again.
My beloved.
Right.
Alex.
Yeah, keep it on screen because I've not done this as a pod pick. And I'll be honest. Well, what can I say? Yeah, I'm famously and historically not a Dark Souls fan. I find the games incredibly frustrating, and I know it's because I need to just get good and just try and learn the patterns, but I can't be arsed. But something about Night Rain, and I think it is because it's got the complexity of Dark Souls, but it's dumbed down for people like me. It really is just it's a good experience. It's a great way for people like me who can't play for lack of skill to experience, because the whole world of the Dark Souls games and all the creatures and the bosses and everything is stunning. But as someone who doesn't play the games, I don't get to experience it. But now I do. And, I want to go back to it.
Well, we should do before the DLC, but let's definitely go back when the DLC drops.
Yes.
I want to fight Artorias.
I want to fight Artorias too.
Me too.
Nice. Good. Cool. And then lastly, excuse me one sec.
Hi, I'm Tim. I'm so ill.
I've been much better this week, thank you.
Tim, if you stopped smoking, you'd be all right.
I'm so sickly and weak.
For our most anticipated game of 2026, who wants to start off with their personal most anticipated game that's due to come out next year?
I can.
Go on.
I need to swap my screen share. Come on. Tim, sing a song to stall for time for me.
Hey. Hey.
I don't even know.
I thought you were going for that. Yeah.
This is a game that I don't think we've really spoken about. That screen there, the creators of Little Nightmares and Little Nightmares 2, is the reason I'm really excited about this. I really enjoyed those games. I've not played 3 yet. But this game is a darker version of Little Nightmares. It's Reanimal.
I've heard of this.
Watching the trailer, you'll see how dark and spooky and over the top it is. But I think it looks fucking great.
Well, it's pronounced Reminal.
It's
Reminal.
Thazia, isn't it, the developer? Thazer? No. They have a very distinct art and gameplay style, and you could look at this and very easily pass this off as another Little Nightmares game.
No problem. When the trailer came out, I thought this was a extended trailer for Little Nightmares 3. But I think if you compare it to the trailer of Little Nightmares 3, this is far more focused on the horror elements.
Well, it does look very spooky.
Yeah, I just think it looks very cool.
I was going to say, like, Little Nightmares is a lot more suspense than this. This is just straight up horror.
Body horror, yeah. It looks great.
Yeah.
Looks really
It
fun.
actually looks really good.
Nice. Alex?
Yeah, sure. Why not? This is... why is this button not working?
Tim,
I
sing the song
like-
again.
Ba-na-da-na.
Thank you,
Hey.
Tim. I like a good, just sci-fi action RPG. And this is Exodus.
Isn't this one that's being made by the former BioWare devs?
Yes, this is Archetype Studios, which is former BioWare devs, which is the other reason I'm quite excited about it, because it does look like it's going to be fun and funny little creatures. And like I say, I like a dumb sci-fi action RPG, so we'll see what this comes with. I'm really hoping it's good, because if it's not, I'll be sad.
Wow, wow.
Wow, wow. And for me, it should come as no surprise that it's another fighting game. But
Is it Tokon?
it is Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls.
See, I listen to your episodes, Tim.
Damn right. So we have another beta at the time of recording, another beta for this in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to try and get into it if I can. But it's an Arc System Works Marvel fighter. If you're a fighting game player, those words should immediately bring saliva to your mouth, because good lord, that combination.
Why do I hate that sentence so much?
You should get used to it, because I'm going to be drooling when this game comes
Why have I
out.
got a really confused direction?
So I got to play about 15 minutes of this at Evo when I was there, and while I found the skill ceiling to be a bit low and the skill floor to be a little high, I think it's fine to have a low barrier for entry fighting game, because it makes it accessible and that allows the scene to expand. But I think there's probably a lot more complexity to this than I was able to tap into in my very limited time playing it. However, what's
I'm
undeniable...
Tim, and I'm a video game fighting game expert.
Okay.
All the losers shouldn't play my games.
Get out my scene, normies. But like, what's undeniable about Marvel Tokon, as we're seeing here in the gameplay, is the visual appeal of it. It's outstanding. I mean, it's an Arc System Works title, so yeah, of course it's going to be outstanding to look at. I say, looking at Nen Impact on my other screen here, which is not a pretty game by them. But this looks great. It's got a very distinct comic book style. It's got Sony money behind it. It's got Arc System Works development. It's got 4v4 tag assist based fighting with interesting stage switching mechanics. It looks cool. It's really fun. And I can't wait for it to come out next year.
I'll be honest, I will never play this because it's not my kind of game. It looks great. I'd watch you play this.
Nice.
I don't want to have to learn combinations or superheroes, but I'll watch you play it, definitely.
You'll be pleased to know there's an auto combo system.
Well, that sounds horrific.
No, they did it in Dragon Ball and it worked quite well. It was like you could just mash the button. It'll do a flashy looking combo, but for not much damage.
Yeah.
Tim,
So
I've got
it's
an
like-
important question.
Yeah.
So it's an Arc Sys work game, yeah?
Yep.
Is Daisuke doing the soundtrack?
Not to my knowledge. This is being
well.
this is being done by the team that actually worked on Dragon Ball, so Daisuke was not involved.
Ah. Oh well.
Oh well.
Sad times,
Yeah,
but
man.
sure.
Right. Most anticipated game. Alex, have we had yours?
Yeah.
Where?
Yes. Yes, we did. Of
Yes.
course, it was
Yeah, we
Exodus.
have.
Right,
Do you want
Joey.
the one that I might get us to play on the pod, which would be quite fun to do?
Yes, so I've got on here most anticipated game of 2076 for the pod. This is more to do with like what episodes you want to do on the podcast
Yes.
next year.
Yes.
Cool.
So for
That isn't Claire
2020,
Obscura.
Yes.
2026, I'm going to send us back 23 years and make us
Wow.
play this game. Tim, do you know what it is yet?
Oh, hell yeah. Jack 2.
I might get us to play Jack 2 if I can find a reliable way for us to do it, because it's not available anywhere. I mean, we will all buy PlayStation 2s and pay for it. And
I think
not
I might have this on
emulate it.
PS5.
Yeah, we've all got PS5s and we will all play it legally.
Yeah.
So Jack 2, I love this game and I still hold a special place in my heart for it. I was thinking about the original Jack and Daxter. but I don't think you want to do too many in a series in like a short space of time. And Jak 2 for me is exactly where it's at. So yeah, Jak 2 is my choice for the game. Please don't hold us to this because it might not happen. But this, if I could make us play any game from mine and Tim's childhood, it would be this one.
This game is a very special place in my heart.
This or Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Which we definitely could do. Oh, Betcha Bar would be funny, but the episode would be about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Alex, what about you?
I'm going to take us not quite that far back. I want us to go back to 2017 for a game that I've got nearly 300 hours in. It is XCOM 2, specifically The War of the Chosen. This is a great game. As I mentioned before with Exodus, I love a good sci-fi game, and this is a sci-fi turn-based tactics game, and I love it.
Good.
Nice.
I mean, I've already got my game planned for my first mainline episode, so this might be my second for like June. But this,
hold your breath,
we planned
guys.
so far ahead. But yeah, what the original, XCOM 2 was great. War of the Chosen took it an extra step because they introduced new classes and certain new mission types and the likes. But it's something you can play without playing the base game because you'll still understand what's going on.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Tim?
For me, I think I've mentioned this, that I want to do this on the pod at some point early next year.
So
It's not 2XKO. It is Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Is this not on the list?
It is on the
It
list.
is.
But this is exactly, I'm excited to play it because what I've played of this, it might be the most video game in a single video game I've ever played.
Okay.
Of course, we played Yakuza 0 on the podcast a little while ago, and that was the earliest point outside of Like a Dragon Ishin, but that's so far removed it doesn't really count. That's the earliest point in Majima and Kiryu's story. This is currently the latest point in Majima and Kiryu's story, and the series has evolved a lot in that time. And it's you're playing his fan favorite character Goro Majima as he wakes up in Hawaii and then just adopts the role of being a pirate. And I don't mean like a Somalian pirate. I'm talking Yaha Cannon's Shiver Me Timbers pirate. It's great.
I don't think anyone thought you meant Somalian pirate, Tim.
I want it to be clear.
Okay.
I've never played a Yakuza game in my life.
Oh,
But when I stayed with Tim and Penn for a couple of nights a while back, and the entire drive from the train station to their house was just Tim gushing over Yakuza games. So they've got to be good.
There's genuine, there's a serious, the great thing I love about Yakuza is it lives and dies on its side quests. There is a serious story from start to finish, which doesn't, that this game's plot on the surface of things, Yakuza patriarch loses his memory and becomes a pirate. Sounds very silly on the surface of things, but there is actually quite a good emotional story here. But then there are just points where you'll be being like a Deliveroo driver, or you'll be go-karting, or you'll be on a rail car going around Hawaii taking photos of perverts. Just that sort of thing. And it's just, it all works so well because it feels like on the development team, they were just like, there are no bad ideas. It felt like that was the mantra.
Nice.
Very excited for this.
I'm genuinely quite excited to try this game.
Oh, it's so good. So good. But that's early 2026, and this is up there. It was either going to be that or Metal Gear Solid for me, and I want to play that at some point next year as well.
What was that noise?
What was that noise?
Wank.
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 Right. But that wraps up our Last Chance Awards. Anything else you guys want to add?
Bumper one towards the end of Podmas, huh?
Yeah, I know, right?
Anything else? If you're not sick of us already, you will be now.
No, nothing I want to add.
Great.
Nothing
I
at
think
all.
I'm good.
Nothing at all. All right.
On for an hour and 15. So
Yeah. All right.
yeah.
Well, do you have anything else after this in Podmas? No, there's a couple of things. There's
No,
about a year in
there's a
review and
couple
then a
of
2BFB.
yeah.
So come back tomorrow for an episode of the Biased Anime Pod.
Let's all leave the episode by doing their thing.
It's the season of joy, the mic's
Lit.
lit. Alex, Tim, and Joe
Clucky.
bringing the grit.
He's going
Daily
again.
drops for December, you know the drill. Game clubs, the vibe, giving you that thrill. Podmas 2025, we in the
Zone.
zone. Voices in your ear,
Never
you're
alone.
Every day a new drop to unwrap and cheer. Game clubs, the gift. bring
Holiday cheer.
Grab your headphones, tune in tight. Late night laughs,
Morning light.
From RPGs to the classics they play, spitting fire on the mic every single day. Joey's got the jokes, Tim's got the facts. Alex breaks it down, no game gets lax. Each episode's agenda, the squad. This holiday season, they all pod gods. From the 2025, we in the zone. Voices in your ear, you're never alone. Every day a new drop to unwrap and cheer. Game clubs, the gift, bringing holiday gear.
Bring in holiday gear.